So, the summary for this story is that Brian Robeson is a 13-year-old city boy. As a result of his parents' divorce, he is travelling as the only passenger on a small plane, heading north to visit his father, who was working in the oil fields of Canada, on the edge of a great tundra, when the pilot has a heart attack and dies. The plane flies on autopilot for a great distance before finally crashing into a small lake in the Canadian wilderness. Miraculously, Brian survives the crash and is able to swim free of the plane. On shore, as he recovers from his ordeal, he realises that the plane probably drifted a long way off course, that he is alone with only his clothing, a few bits and pieces in his pockets, a tattered anorak, and the hatchet his mother had given him as a present. Title drop. The story unfolds detailing Brian's mistakes, setbacks and small triumphs, as with the help of the hatchet, title drop, he strives to survive. And now, enough of the summary, we shall now get on to debating at certain points of the book. What would you say is the favourite bit of the book?
I think my favourite bit was when he was getting into the plane, and it took him ages to get into the plane and get all the supplies to the beach.
Okay, and why do you think that scene was your favourite bit?
It's because it was a triumph. He said he had done it afterwards, and then he managed to go through and get lots of different food. It was good.
And that was also what enabled him to get rescued in the end.
Yes, because he got a receipt.
Of course. By the way, spoilers for the book. Do not watch this if you haven't read it yet. Okay, William, your favourite bit of the book?
Moose.
Moose. Okay, yeah. So, remind the audience who've already read the book, what is the moose?
It's a cow moose. It's a cow.
It's a cow moose, okay.
And it attacked him.
Okay, so your favourite scene is the main character getting attacked by a moose.
It was a mean moose.
It was a very mean moose, yes. Moving on before the entire team cracks up. You have to say that my favourite scene had to be he discovers how to make fire, because from that point on it was going to be a lot easier for our main character, all before the moose happened. Paul, favourite bit and why?
Well, I must say that my favourite part of the book was when he offered the pilot who came to save him some food.
And why so?
Well, it's because it's kind of symbolic of the whole book in a way.
It's the bulk of the book. Okay. So, how do you reckon Brian develops emotionally, mentally and physically to survive in the wilderness? Will you say that any particular qualities were more important to his survival than others?
Well, first of all, he was like a bit of a New Yorker city boy. He didn't know what to do much. He basically watched TV and went to whatever store he went to get food. Then after he crashed, he managed to realise that you need to eat. Eating is everything. And he planned for the future by getting lots of berries. And at the beginning, gut cherries.
Gut cherries, of course.
And the fish farm, etc.
Alright, William, how do you think Brian developed as a character, both emotionally, mentally and physically, to survive in the wilderness?
He developed good.
He developed good.
Yeah, he did very well.
Except for the moose.
Yeah, except for the moose and the tornado. That didn't help. Yeah. And the porcupine. And then
the skunk.
And then the skunk didn't go well either.
So basically, all your favourite parts of the novel were bits where Brian got hurt.
No.
You really hate this Brian, don't you?
No, it's just those bits he didn't do.
Yeah,
I suppose he did develop.
Yeah. So
I can't speak.
Okay, so Brian's character. Well, okay, I think he did develop in a positive way.
Yes.
I mean, mostly because of his need to survive in the wilderness. That was what forced most of his development, but in the end it was good for him because now he looks at life from a different perspective. Paul, how do you think he developed, both physically, emotionally and mentally?
Well, developing physically, he needed less food. Developing mentally, he stopped thinking the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Like a mantra.
And emotionally, I don't know.
Okay, I don't need that. So, from the beginning of time, stories have pitted man against nature. Is there anything different about the story? Does Brian's relationship with nature change at all during the course of the novel? How and why does this happen? And what lessons does Brian learn from nature?
Well, he does learn that there's a cycle of nature. Well, he eats fish and Bear could eat him. It's like a circle of nature.
Did he eat the pilot in a way?
You
You think about the fish.
The fish ate the pilot and he ate the
We were
fish.
going so well! Anyway, okay. Yeah, in a way, he kind of did. Yeah, I guess in a way he did
Yeah.
kind of eat the pilot, but it might not have been the same fish.
himself better against the moose as well. He could have
Yes,
he could have
and-
stabbed the moose.
And he described that fish meat is light meat. He needed bird meat to survive properly.
Fool bird.
Fool bird.
Fool of a
Yeah.
bird.
You fool of a bird.
Okay, so yeah, we actually asked you the question. Do you reckon there's anything different about this story, and does Brian's relationship with nature change at all during the course of the novel? And how and why does this happen, and what lessons does Brian learn from nature? William? Moving on. Okay, well,
Those are some good reasons, right?
well, I do think, I mean, I haven't read many survival novels, so I wouldn't be able to know if there's anything different from
As
this
a child.
story. Well,
I know.
The subplot was quite interesting about his mother going off on the phone with another man.
I know
I
what's
think it's
different.
more of a background.
Yes, there's a
subplot.
bit of a subplot to it.
Yes,
What were your
Yes.
thoughts on it, Paul?
Well, it's different to survival books, but in some ways it's the same. Someone gets stranded on a crashed plane in the wilderness, then in the end he gets some sort of transmitter thing and gets saved. But in between that, it is a lot different. Normally they don't have a hatchet, normally they know about survival. It's kind of different to have it in the eyes of a 13-year-old book, just a
Yes.
normal one.
why is it usually a plane they crash in? I mean, can't they have
Because
like a boat?
why would he be on a boat?
Or maybe
his
he's
father-
maybe he wants to sail to Canada.
Yeah, but
He was already in Canada,
All
wasn't
it's
he?
going to end up doing
Well, he
is
was
from
saying
New York,
he
he's
was
going to have to
going
walk
to
to the
New
shore
York.
and do this.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
And then just walk to his father's house about 100 miles.
Yeah.
Well, then he takes a car.
Should have taken a plane.
Next question. When Brian starts examining the contents of the survival pack he rescues from the plane, he initially discards the rifle that he finds within it. Why do you think that he does that?
Well, I think it's because he bonded with nature, and he kind of felt, after he held that, he kind of felt like he didn't have to know anything. Because if you have a rifle, you can just shoot to kill. I mean, like, you could eat the moose easily. You could just shoot the moose and eat it. It would be too easy with just a rifle.
That would be my favourite bit.
Yeah.
When he got revenge on the moose.
He did not get revenge on the moose.
Or did he? We haven't read the other books yet.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
he did.
But anyway, next question. Okay, question, what do you think about it?
Pretty much what Luke said.
Okay. Well, I also think what Luke said is quite the way to go, but But also at the same time, I do think it would have been an idea to keep the rifle because, like, you know, say you like get under attack by a bear or something, you know, or a moose, then, like, you know, you can use it in defence, and then boom pow, you got yourself some bear meat or moose meat, whatever it is.
Well, and what Luke said is quite interesting, but I do have my own thoughts. Say, imagine you're playing a game or something on the hardest difficulty, and then all of a sudden, halfway through the game, you just switch to easy mode. It's not the same, is it? And you kind of are like, no, I want to stick with what I'm doing. I don't want to have to just have it be so easy that I can just do this. Me.
Yes.
It's too easy, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
you
well,
still
then
should
again,
use it.
I think in this situation he should, but that
Yeah,
was a
of
good
course,
example because otherwise he'd go and die.
Yes. Now, the next question. How do you think you would fare in a similar situation? What personal qualities and abilities would you be able to draw upon to survive like this? Do you think you could survive?
I think I might be able to survive. Well, maybe. Depending where I landed. If I landed like, I don't know, maybe where he landed when there was like raspberries and things, I might be able to survive because I do have a decent knowledge of how to survive. Plus, I might be able to survive a while without food because I've got some special fat stores I can call upon in a case of emergency. I might not starve.
I'd survive for about 3 weeks, and then
I
well,
would
that's the
eat
thing though.
more.
I wouldn't need to eat because I'm fatter than Luke, so I'm. No offense, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fat, so I could survive for about 3 weeks. I could just do whatever I want. So I could probably have enough time to figure things out. So I think I'd survive just about.
Yes, I do also
Have my car on my
Neck
back,
and
so I
knife.
wouldn't be able to get the hatchet back if I dropped.
could survive
Probably throw the hatchet to myself.
for a short
My
while, but
belt.
of course, me being me,
So you
would
didn't drop
probably
it.
have to adapt to the. Probably have to be rescued quickly because I'm not exactly sure how much of an adapt. No, maybe I think I might be, but I'm not sure. I haven't been given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Paul,
If I had someone else with me, sure. I
You
would
could eat them,
survive.
yeah, that's
Shut up. No, I don't mean it like that.
Paul the cannibal. He's
I
a
don't mean
cannibal.
it like that. If I had someone else to help me, sure. Not to eat them. No, and if I had someone else to help me, of course I'd survive. But if not, probably
Help you
not.
fill your belly. Anyway, next question. Okay. Next question. Do you think Hatchet is a good title for the book?
Yes.
Well, I haven't finished asking you. Why was it chosen as the book's title? And do you think the hatchet symbolises anything?
Yes. Well, it's mainly because the whole thing of his survival is with the hatchet. He couldn't make fire without the hatchet. He couldn't make things without the hatchet. He couldn't get in the plane without the hatchet. Everything is circled around the hatchet, and that's why it's called Hatchet.
So
Hatchet.
essentially, the hatchet is kind of the keystone. to
Yes.
everything.
It's the cornerstone of his survival.
That's more of a keystone.
But could he make fire with it?
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
he
He
could.
used it to make sparks.
You
could he
hit
make
it
fire?
again.
Yeah, but could he make fire without it?
Perhaps.
You hit it
Have you
against
tried?
the flint.
Yes, but he could. But if he could get the flint out the wall, he might be able to use something else to make fire.
Yeah. Because
There are other ways. You don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
necessarily need a hatchet, of course. But I mean, you might not have been able to do it without.
You
the-
probably would have figured it out without the hatchet. So
No,
and yeah.
it was all because of a.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a skunk. It was
And it
the
wa-
porcupine.
It was the porcupine that stabbed him.
I see.
It was a porcupine that stabbed. You bring it back to Brian getting harmed.
Yeah, poor old Brian. Poor old Brian.
You just like to see him hurt, you monster.
I can't see him hurt. It's a book.
Well, you just like to read the words that say
No.
he's getting hurt, don't you? You monster. Paul,
No.
what do you... Hatchet, do you think it's a good title?
Well, yes, it is a good title because the hatchet is kind of like the main part of the book, but I might have called it Attack of the Moose.
Attack of the Moose.
Hatchet episode 2, Attack of the Moose.
Yeah, Attack of the Moose.
That's why people don't have meat of title books though.
Yes.
No.
And plus the
I've got another point.
The Hatchet was sort of
Yes.
made you do
With
that.
the fish farm, he didn't gut the fish, he just cooked it. Does that mean they were eating all the fish intestines and stuff? Because he didn't even gut the fish before eating them.
He left some bits left so it could lure in more fish.
Yeah, so maybe he didn't eat the guts.
Maybe you just ate the outside and just
Yeah.
left the guts in the...
Yeah, and then threw them to the fishes.
It's like, eat your friend.
Eat your friend like it ain't mine.
No!
And
Yeah.
plus the hatchet was sort of a symbol
Yeah, it was.
as well, because it was something his mother had given him. It was a
Yes.
present.
Yes,
So he
and
could have fun with his dad, and then it turned out to be one of the only reasons he survived at all.
of
Would have
course.
probably died without the hatchet.
Yeah. So the mother gave him a hatchet to have fun with his dad.
Yeah, because he could help
Yes,
his
you
dad.
can have fun with it.
I don't know.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a very different lifestyle, isn't it? Because I'd never be given a hatchet. Because you know what would happen if I was given a hatchet. Yay! Thanks! I'm gonna go chop down some trees
You just cut down all the trees.
Yeah,
in the world.
I'm going to go to the mall to do some chopping.
That's why we're.
Anyway,
You're blaming me
This is
for
dissolving.
talking about talking about Brian's pain, and you're talking about cutting people up at the shop, the local Tesco, chopping
Well, at
people
least I
up with
don't
your
want
brand new
Brian to get
hatchet.
cut up at the shop. Anyway,
How do you know? You don't
Or
even
you
know what he
could
looks
say
like. You
they-
might cut him up
you-
by
I think
accident.
that you would cut the prices.
oh no.
By cutting the item off.
Question. That last question. Did you enjoy the story, and would you recommend the story to other teenagers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.